Sanctuary, the new Bad Batch novel by Lamar Giles, comes out on August 5th. I got to read the book a little early, so here is my spoiler-free review. I liked it a lot, way more than I was expecting. The story takes place during Season 2 in between episodes 13 and 14. Pabu is hit by a tidal wave and needs funds to recover, so Clone Force 99 and Phee set off to help. When this book was announced, I was hoping it would pick up after Season 3. I remember when the novels Thrawn Alliances and Thrawn Treason were coming out, and they were set in between episodes of Star Wars Rebels, and I found that to be limiting. The scope could only be so big, and the characters could only develop so much. Well, I didn't feel those limitations in Sanctuary at all. The scope of this adventure felt like it easily could have been a 3-episode arc of the Bad Batch. The characters all felt exactly like they should. The situations they were thrown into felt appropriately scaled. Thematically, it still deals with what it's like for these soldiers to adjust to a new life and not the one they were created for. It dives into not just the Batch, but also continues exploring the fates of all clone troopers after the Clone Wars, and it even definitively answers a pretty big question about clones fans have had for a while. And because most of people who picked this book up are probably already fans of the Bad Batch, we're able to jump into the action very fast. I loved the pace of this book. It was a fast and easy read that left me wondering what would happen next. Like I said, the stakes of the story are appropriate. Clone Force 99 obviously isn't blowing up the Death Star or saving the galaxy from a mysterious blight. They've basically got their mission of the week to help Pabu recover. But I think that worked even better for me because it's releasing so soon after the end of the High Republic and Andor. It was nice reading something where the stakes were more personal and less the fate of the entire galaxy. But speaking of Andor, Sanctuary still felt so relevant to the themes of that show. I remember the Bad Batch Season 2 coming out shortly after Andor Season 1 and thinking how cool it was for this animated series to feel like it was so in line with one of the most serious Star Wars stories to date. I think Sanctuary got away with a little more intensity as a novel. Hunter especially has more edge to him. His violence and tactics surprised me a couple of times. Even the language he used was more intense, even without using any real-world swears. It was very creatively mature, without leaning so far into that it stopped feeling like a Bad Batch story. The villains they faced were solid and very relevant, again, in line with what we saw in Andor and the way fascists will only work together to a point while they're really trying to outplay, outpower, and outfear one another. One of the villains is an ISB agent named Crane, whose story reminded me quite a bit of the spy storylines in Alexander Freed's book, The Mask of Fear, and he has this really terrifying idea of family. Found family is a huge theme in Star Wars, but Crane shows us a very warped version of that. He's one of the best illustrations of the Imperial view of law and order. He's a huge stickler for the rules, but only in the sense that he can wield them as weapons. To quote The Rise and Fall of the Galactic Empire, Imperial laws existed to serve the Empire, not protect the citizenry. The other major villain is a woman named Celia, who is rich and thinks her wealth makes her a god who can't be touched. She thinks her money will gain her favor and status in the government. It's hard not to think about Elon Musk and the current fallout he's having with the people he himself helped put into power. On the flip side, our heroes get plenty of time to shine. Going all the way back to our introduction to the Bad Batch, they were presented as these intense caricatures in the Clone Wars, but their own series quickly started to give them more nuance, and Sanctuary easily continues that evolution. I think they all get to step outside of their own specialties to show off their skills in other areas. For example, Omega gets to be a skilled medic in a scene, which makes complete sense thanks to all of her time as Nala Se's assistant. It's just not something we got to see much of in the show. Wrecker solves some problems through very creative and thoughtful explosions. Tech especially gets some of the spotlight, which I'm grateful for considering his time on the show was cut short, and because Phee is also on the mission, we get more exploration of their relationship. All the tech stuff was really nice, but Giles also finds subtle ways to twist the knife for fans who know what happens on Iriadu. I think Sanctuary exceeded my expectations in every way. I've already been itching for a Bad Batch rewatch after Andor, but this book just solidified that feeling. There's even a scene in the novel that does something I absolutely did not want to see in the show, but it worked really well reading it. This novel just checked a lot of my Star Wars boxes, an expansive, planet-hopping story following a decent-sized group of characters, fun and pulpy to read, and it even dropped in some fun new lore for fans to chew on. I do think I would recommend this most to people who are already fans of The Bad Batch. If you haven't seen the show, the book certainly tells you what you need to know about the characters, but everything will make more sense and you'll be more invested if you already know and like the team. If you've seen the show and want more of it, Sanctuary is exactly what you're looking for. If you finished Andor and want some more storytelling exploring similar themes, Sanctuary does that, but its tone is somewhere in between that of Andor and The Bad Batch, if that makes sense. But overall, I would easily give this book a big thumbs up. If you're interested in listening to the audiobook for Sanctuary, it comes out on August 5th, and you can listen to it for free on Audible if you sign up for a free trial. Just click on the link in the description or visit audibletrial.com/Star Wars Explained. There you can sign up for a free trial, which will get you a free credit you can use on any audiobook. You can pre-order Sanctuary, or just about any other Star Wars book you can think of, or get any book you want. The point is, you'll get a free audiobook, and you'll be supporting the channel when you do. But that's it for today. If you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, follow us on our socials, and consider checking out our Patreon page, where we'll have a book club meeting about Sanctuary a few weeks after it comes out. As always, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.